My name is Myra Jackson, and I'm a Christian. I'm also a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I didn't even know what narcissistic abuse was. I didn't even know what a narcissist was. But for years and years, all I kept thinking is there has got to be some kind of medical explanation to why my husband acts the way he does. I always called it Jekyll and Hyde syndrome until I started reading books and I started seeing things on social media and researching the whole subject. And I realized, holy cow, this is a real thing. I'm not crazy. This is actually happening. This is my life now. And that was almost a year and a half ago. I have been separated for almost a year, technically divorced for almost 5 months. And I'm trying to learn how to live my life again. I'm trying to learn how to be me. And I don't have anybody to talk to about it because he made sure that the only friends I had when we were married were mutual friends. And I am not the kind of person that's just going to go to mutual friends and badmouth my ex. I'm not out to ruin anybody's reputation. It's irrelevant at this point in time. Anything, that he does, it's on him. I'm just trying to heal. I'm trying to get me back, because if you've never been in an abusive relationship, if you've never been in a toxic relationship, you have no idea how much it distorts your entire life. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, I have an issue today. Today's my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday. And so I took her out to a nice Mexican restaurant because I wanted him to smush the ice cream in her face. I just thought it was going to be hilarious. And it was. She was a very good sport about it. She is not the least bit narcissistic, and we both had a good laugh, and it was really, really a good time. And then we just went out kind of to some shops and just went junk picking and buying some cheap crap, whatever. That as I was standing in line paying for some stuff at one of the stores, she walks up to me and she says, "Hey, have you seen lunchbox?" And I'm like, "No. Why would I know where his lunchbox is? Like, he hasn't lived in the house for almost a year. What? I don't know." No, I've not seen it. It's not at the house. And so she tells him, and apparently he has to go out of town for work. It's a big dramatic thing. And he catastrophizes a lot. If you know any narcissists, that's what they do. Everything's a big deal. So anyways, according to him, it was a very big deal, and he had to have a lunchbox to take because I don't know why. I guess maybe they don't have restaurants at the town he's going to. I don't know. I don't know where his lunchbox is. Have not seen it. Don't know. But anyways, so when I get home, my mom, who lives right outside, out back of me, said that he was here. I'm like, why? Well, he was looking for some kind of lunchbox. So I checked my video cameras. He just waltzes right in my house while I'm not home. He yells upstairs to see if my daughter's up or if she's there, because she works nights and she usually sleeps during the day. But she caught a quick nap and then we went out. But anyway, She wasn't there, and he hollered 2 or 3 times. He walked through the house to my son's bedroom, looked in his bedroom. He was not there. He's at work. He looked in my grandbaby's bedroom. She was with me. Looked in my bedroom. I'm gone. He knows this because my car's not here. And so he just proceeds to look around my house. Just look. Nose around, nose, whatever. Just look around. And then he walks out the door. Okay? So I look at another, like 5 or 10 minutes down, another movement. The camera's picked up at my house, looked at that video. He walked back in. Just walked back in, looked around. Now he knows nobody's home. He knows that, his lunchbox isn't here. He's just walking around looking, just snooping in my house. Walks back out. 5 minutes later, walks right back in again. This is the 3rd time the man has walked in my house while I'm not home. He knows I'm not home. He knows my kids aren't home. And he just walks in my house, snooping around just to see what he can see. Okay, you have no business walking in my house when I'm not home. I don't care who you are. I take issue with that. So I messaged him, okay? Here's the thing, let me tell you. I'm a Christian, okay? But I get mad. I get aggravated when things like this happen. I am human. Just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean I'm not human. I still love Jesus as much as I did. I'm just aggravated. Like, you have no business being in my house. And I said, one more thing, he walked in again. So there's a total of 4 times. And I messaged him and I said, you have no right to come in my house 4 times in the same day when I'm not home. You know I'm not home. My car was not outside. You have no right. So he messages back and he says, well, what's the harm? It's not like I'm going to rob you blind. What's the harm? Okay, we're not married anymore. I was with you for almost 20 years. You were my boss. I had to do what you said, but now we're not. We're not married. Now, I don't have anything to hide. I'm a Christian woman. I don't do anything. I'm kind of boring. But still yet, don't walk in my house and just look in my refrigerator or snoop in my cabinet or look in a drawer. Dude, come on, man. Don't do that. Number one, it's disrespectful. Number 2, I don't know of anybody else on the planet, his parents included, that he has the right or that he would actually walk in their house when they're not home just to snoop around. He wouldn't even do that to his parents. And so I told him this on the phone. I said, you do not have the right to come in my house. I don't care. I wasn't home. You knew I wasn't home. You could have called me or you could have messaged me to ask me about that lunchbox. But he didn't do either. He called my daughter. Now, he didn't even know my daughter was with me. Her car was here. But as far as he knew, she could have been, I don't know, out with a friend or whatever. He didn't know. Or she could have even still been asleep. He didn't walk upstairs. But, she could have had her headphones on and been asleep, whatever, playing a video game. He didn't know. So, yeah, I said, you don't have the right to do that. You could have called me. You could have asked me where it was. I could have told you I didn't know, but you didn't even ask me. You asked my daughter, who hasn't even lived here for very long, like 6 months, and she's supposed to be getting another place, so she just crashing. I digress. And he said, well, if that's the case, then you get a job and don't ask me to help pay your bills. Now, here's the thing. He does give me spousal support, and he helps pay for the grandbaby that we have custody of. So he gives me money to buy clothes and food and shoes and, whatever grandbabies need. So, okay, you're saying because you give me spousal support and you help me pay for the grandbaby that we have custody of together, that you have the right to walk in my house and do whatever you please just because it's today. No. Mm-mm. No. You do not have the right to do that. And do I forgive him? Yeah, I love Jesus, and Jesus said I have to, so I forgive him. I do. I forgive him. But daggone it aggravates the crap out of me. I mean, it really... You have no right to walk in my house. I don't care if you've lived here for almost 20 years. Okay? I don't care if you give me spousal support to help pay the bills and take care of the baby. I don't go to his house. I don't walk into his house. I don't snoop in his vehicles. I don't... Nothing. I mean, no. That's his stuff. And I can only imagine if I did... Oh my gosh, even when we're married, I wasn't allowed to look at his phone. I wasn't allowed to see how much money he had in his wallet. I wasn't allowed to look at his laptop. None of that. Matter of fact, if he was gone and he was late, I wasn't even allowed to ask him where he was because he would throw a big, huge temper tantrum on me about, well, I don't know why you think I'm doing anything. Now, first of all, I didn't say you were doing anything, okay? I just said, where were you? I had supper fixed. Well, I don't know why you think I'm always cheating on you. Nobody said anything about cheating. You know, was that a Freudian slip? Well, what was that? Okay, now we're going to talk. But anyway, while we were married, I had no right to ask him where he's been, ask him where he was going. I could not look at his phone. I could not look at his laptop. He would come home when he felt like coming home. I wasn't allowed to say, hey, you know, when are you coming home? None of that. But he has the right to come in my house while I'm not home because I'm a Christian. And he knows I'm not going to, you know, cuss him out or whatever. Yeah. I just don't know what to do. That's why I'm making a video. I'm going to make a video every time something aggravates me. I really am. I don't know if I'll post them. I don't know if I'll just save them, you know, to like iCloud. And when I die, my kids will look at them and be like, oh my gosh, my mom was disturbed. Because I'm literally just at a loss. I'm surviving narcissism. I am surviving narcissistic abuse, and this is one more tactic. He still thinks he can control me, even though we're divorced, even though we live apart. And I love Jesus, so I will not lose my salvation over this. I won't. Jesus said, someone slaps you on one cheek, you turn the other. Okay. But dude, I only got 2 cheeks. Jesus is going to have to help me with this one because I'm aggravated. Tomorrow, I'm going to Rural King, and I'm going to buy new deadbolts. I'm going to watch a video on YouTube on how to change those deadbolts. And I am going to have the only keys. Well, my son and my daughter, who also live here, they will have a key. But other than that, I don't think it's wrong to do that if I've asked him. And that's the thing, I've asked him several times. Hey, don't just come in here willy-nilly whenever you want to. He doesn't even knock. I mean, he just stops in after work or whenever and just walks through the house until he finds somebody. You know, it's come to the point where when I know he's getting off work, I never know when he's coming by, but when I think I know when he's getting off work, I generally lay the baby down for a nap and I lock the doors and I lay there quiet, feeling like I have to hide just so he won't just walk in. I shouldn't have to do that. Seriously, I should not have to do that. I'm changing locks tomorrow. And I forgive him, Lord Jesus, please help him. And help me to deal with him with a calm mind and a peaceful spirit. Because those are things that I have had to work very hard to receive back in my life. So if anybody ever sees this and you have been through narcissistic abuse, and I'm gonna make another video about narcissistic abuse, because for a long time I didn't even think that's what it was. I thought, well, this is just the way life is. This is his personality. I just have to make sure everything goes right to make him happy. And he's never, ever happy. I'm going to make another video about it. I will. But if you ever have problems and you're going through something like this, just know that you're not alone. You are not alone. Narcissists have been around since the beginning of the world. And the people married to them or in relationships with them have been around too. And somehow or other, we all get through it. I recommend Jesus. Thanks for listening.